What is up, guys, and welcome to your third C++ tutorial. Now, last time, quick review, I went over integers, strings, doubles, and characters. And I went over that you can store an integer by just typing int, and then a string was a word, or not a word. You can either do a word or you can store a whole sentence if you wanted. A double is a decimal, and a chair is a character. Okie dokie. So now the question is, why do I want to store things inside of variables such as an integer? Well, the thing is, like, let's say for example, I'm writing a story, right? So in order to write a story, we got, let's do cout, and inside the brackets we do there once lived a boy named, and then let's call him John. End that line. He grew up and didn't enjoy being named John. People always made fun of John. Honestly, this is pretty funny. John, because his name was John. I think you can already get an idea of what I'm doing. And let's end that line. Just good habit. Okie dokie. So if we build this, and then we start without debugging, there we go. We get, there once lived a boy named John. He grew up and didn't enjoy being named John. People always made fun of John because of his name. Because his name was John. Okay. So as you see, I had to type out John, John, John. Now, if I wanted to change the story and I wanted to make his name like, I don't know, like Brian or something, then I would have to go change it to Brian, Brian here, Brian here, Brian here, and that's 4 Brians. But that's not really effective when you have, like, for example, 100 lines of code that all use the name John, and you would have to change each and every single one as a Brian. Now, the more effective way of doing this would be creating a string. Let's call the string name, set it equal to Brian, semicolon, and now every single time where we have a name, we're gonna end the string, and then we're gonna replace the name with the variable name. So let's do it on every single one. Okie dokie. You kind of want to leave the space, just because if you don't, it's going to be all, like, it's all going to be together. Okay, now here we got another one. And then here we got to do another quotation mark, just because we're continuing on with the sentence. Okay, here we need a space because the name is gonna go immediately right after this. So we need a space here, and we need a space here. So now we build it. We start without debugging. And now we have, there once lived a boy named Brian. He grew up and didn't enjoy being named Brian because yada yada yada. Alright. So now if we wanted to change his name to Roberts, we rebuild the solution and we start without debugging. Now all of the variables, every single place where we put name, it all is changed. So now even if we had like 100 lines of code that all use the name Roberts or Brian, we can all change it all at once simply by changing what's in here. And that's why variables are more effective, and that's why we use them. Alright, so now I wanted to go into so now I want to teach you guys something really quick, which is kind of like a way to write like comments to yourself so you remember what like each function did. So to write a comment to yourself, you have two options. You have dash dash or backslash backslash and hello. So now if we run this, this is not going to be executed because this is kind of like writing yourself a note. This is only meant for humans to understand. It's not meant for the computer to, like, if the computer sees this, it'll just go right over it. Like, it'll ignore anything here. So if we put cout goodbye, and then we do here cout build and run, you see only goodbye was executed. That's because this is known as a comment, and we usually do comments when we're programming so we don't get lost in like what we did, like what is this function for, whenever we have like multiple lines of code. Now the problems with this type of commenting is that if I start on a new line, it's not a comment anymore. This will actually get executed. Now there's another type of comment where even if you keep going and going on to different lines, you don't have to do that on every single line. You can do that by doing backslash and asterisks, and then asterisks and backslash. And here you can press enter, enter, enter. And now anything in between these will all be counted as a comment. So, hi, this code just says goodbye. Now the program's going to ignore whatever is in a comment, and then we can build and run it. And that's comments. Now next video, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be going over, but it's probably going to be amazing, and you guys should definitely see it next. So this is it for this tutorial. I'll see you guys next tutorial. Bye.